Let's take a close dive into an egg. Hi guys, Cherry and Papan here, founder of Ytalife, and today we are going to be talking about an egg. So the common ways we understand the egg is it has a shell, and inside the shell there's the egg white and the egg yolk. This egg white is known as the albumen and it's mostly protein. Now the egg whites also contain some B vitamins. So if you're an ovo-vegetarian, basically a person who eats eggs and not meat and fish and all that, this is a good source through which you can get your B vitamins, which is generally lesser in a vegan or a vegetarian diet. Now the egg yolk is mostly fat. Around 40% of the egg yolk is your oleic acid. Now this oleic acid is found in olive oil. It's a monounsaturated fatty acid. Around 30 to 38% is the saturated fats, and the remaining is your polyunsaturated fatty acids, PUFAs. Now the omega-3 and the omega-6 found in the egg yolks depends on the kind of food the chicken were eating. If the chicken has been eating a lot of grains or not so healthy diet in its lifetime, then the eggs would generally contain more of the omega-6. Now omega-6 is not a bad fatty acid, but too much of it is actually inflammatory and not really good for us. Omega-3 on the other hand is pretty beneficial and we really need it. It's good for our brains, it's good for our anti-inflammatory properties and so much more. So getting a right balance of the omega-3 and 6 is very important. You might have seen certain eggs in your supermarket where it says it's omega-3 enriched, or it's the free range chicken and the eggs are of the free range kind. So chances are that maybe those chicken were allowed to roam around freely in the farms and their diets were not predominantly grains. In this case, the omega-3 content would be higher. Now the two important omega-3 acids are your EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid, and your DHA, docosahexaenoic acid. Now these two are very important. Now the previous form of this, the precursor to these two omega-3 is your ALA, alpha-linolenic acid. The issue is that ALA, which is found in flax seeds, chia seeds, etc., it's difficult for the human body to convert it into EPA and DHA. It's always best to go for a direct source of EPA and DHA, like your fish oils or even eggs. Now egg yolks are full of something called choline. Choline is very important for an important neurotransmitter in your brain called acetylcholine. Not having enough of this can make you feel more sluggish and low on energy levels. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition actually found that deficiency in choline can relate to a lot of memory issues, even Alzheimer's for that matter. So as you age, if you're not getting enough choline related foods, the acetylcholine production in your brain can reduce, and this can affect the way in which you age and your brain's neurons as well. So a lot of neurodegenerative diseases can occur if you're not getting right amounts of the building materials for the neurotransmitters. Choline is one of them. So make sure you're getting enough of that. Now those of you that have been hitting the gym or working out regularly, you know that protein is very important. Now inside the protein there is this essential amino acid called leucine, which is highly correlated to building more muscle and growth. Now leucine is found more in the yolks than in the albumen. Now the biggest controversy or debate that still goes on is whether egg yolks can cause heart attacks, if it's going to raise your cholesterol levels. Now a little bit on cholesterol, you got to understand that around 80% of your body's cholesterol is actually made in your own body. It does not come from the diet. The remaining 20% is what you get from the diet. Now observational studies in Japanese men found no correlation between consuming egg yolks and cardiovascular diseases. But certain studies have showed that diabetics particularly could have a potential chance of getting more heart diseases if their fat intake is higher. Now there's something called hyperlipidemia. If you're somebody that suffers from this, well then chances are that consuming a lot of fatty foods like egg yolks could raise your cholesterol levels. In a 12-week study with a lot of diabetic patients who were suffering from obesity, they gave one group 2 eggs per day and the other group did not get any. Now at the end of the study, which was a weight loss study, they found that both the groups actually reduced their total cholesterol levels and their LDL. But the group that ate the eggs actually had a higher percentage of HDL, which is your good cholesterol. Now, our verdict at Ytalife from all the research that we have seen and experimentation too is that egg yolks are not bad for you. Excess amount of anything is bad. Now, when I say egg yolks are not bad for you, that does not mean that you should go all out and eat like maybe, 10, 20 egg yolks per day. No, egg yolks are good for you in moderation. But if your lifestyle is unhealthy, you're eating a lot of processed food, sugars, and too much of carbs, that can be an issue. That's why in certain studies, they found that diabetic people could have problems when they consume a lot of egg yolks or fatty foods. So that is a different class of people. So if you don't belong to that, if you're healthy and you're living a good lifestyle, do not worry too much about the egg yolks. Don't throw it away. It's actually pretty healthy and it has a lot of nutrients. Now, how many should you eat? That is something I cannot directly tell you because it completely depends on your lifestyle and your needs, etc. I hope this video was informative, and I hope now when you eat your eggs, you won't look at the yolks as the bad guy, because they're not. Share this with people so that they can be informed as well. As always, stay informed and stay aware so you can live a life without limitations.